So really, for us, it's the agenda and also the speakers, whether we're going to do virtual. Me and Dima were talking about some things yesterday, virtual or face-to-face. I think we're kind of leaning towards a rhythm where there's more face-to-face. I think there'll be more engagement. I know I'm a lot more engaged here than I am if I was doing this via Zoom, right? That's just the way it is. But then, identifying guests that we can have speak and talk to us. In fact, one person that I met is the champion of the SBA for the whole Southeast. He's all the way, covers Texas all the way to Washington, D.C., and he lives in Greenville, North Carolina. So when I went down to Tampa, he spoke. Very dynamic speaker. I think at one time he was the mayor of Greenville, North Carolina. So anyways, those type of people that can kind of give us the big picture as to how we fit into SCORE and the value that we have. But just some of those guests, whether those guests are going to be local, or maybe sometimes if we have a really high profile guest, we'll all be face to face and they're zoomed in. So just some thoughts on that. And then from time to time, last year we had our end of year Christmas party that was really nice that we had at a venue, and whether we do it here or somewhere else that could accommodate us, just planning those things. But getting your input, because just listening to you all with all your backgrounds, I think we just have a great cauldron. I think the biggest thing I think about is there's a lot of sideways energy, not because of us, it's just we have a lot of things going on in our lives. If we could just put it all in one pot and be able to know it's there and know I can draw on those resources, why make a heavy lift when we can just make it really easy? Because there are people that are in our wheelhouse that we know about that want to serve. And that's the thing I think is amazing about SCORE. The people that are here, no one's getting paid, and everybody's here. They just want to help and they want to serve. And so when they have that mindset and that heart, I think something special happens there. But really, a lot of our coordination is going to be dealing with, obviously community events and marketing and social media, and getting that calendar together. So I think the vision that Dima and I had shared was like, just have something that's 6 months out. I want to get y'all's feedback on this. I'm the type of person, if I know something's going to be happening 3 months from now, again, it might be unrealistic, I'm more excited about it versus like, oh, I wish I knew, next week this is going to happen. I'm not going to, it's going to be hard for me to fit. I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I can't do that in 3 months because I'm going to do this with SCORE. So just having that planning mindset would be really, I think would be helpful just in general, and then we can pivot, and if things come up like it always happens, we can roll with that. But and then also just feel free to email me if there are ideas that you have as to how we can engage. Like I said, there are just things at all these different centers that we can go to, whether it's the loading dock or other places where we can just essentially hang out, and then I'll learn a lot. I'll give you a small example. Pick on Mary a lot. She and I were supposed to go to Tampa together, and I talk to people, say, what's SCORE? And I tell them the story of your background, working with GE and working, I was so hoping that she and I were going to be on a plane and just to talk about and curate and understand how they took these young executives that were working in the aerospace division, and they got the privilege of going to work in the Westinghouse dishwasher division.
You've done your homework.
Well, you said a few things and it stuck here.
Yeah.
That should speak something to our mentees, right? I've got this degree from NC State, and you'll be able to relate to people, and I think that's a value that you can bring from a Jack Welch perspective, right? And so I think that's great. We just need to leverage that, and I just know there are stories that I can get from each one of you that I just haven't had a chance to pick your brain on. But that's really the thrust of it when I see it, and and something just administratively. I don't know. Did everything go okay yesterday? Getting you all registered?
Yeah. So we were at the Six Forks loading dock. So it was really good. I think eventually we'll give guidelines to everyone in terms of if they need to register.
Yeah. And the only comment I have to that is the people at the desk, they look at you like, well, how much are you paying? You just need to say Elizabeth and Kona. We're with SCORE. This is a partnership we have, and then they'll just say, oh, okay. And they'll call Elizabeth, she'll let them know, and then they'll tell them how to do it, because you shouldn't be billed $150 a month
to come here, so.
It's all about people, and it's all about relationships. And what I try to do is build relationships and connect people together that have something maybe in common that help us to forge a relationship. I'm going to say with an organization, but again, organizations are made of people, and we're a team. And I like the idea of committees, but I also like us to look at it as teams, right? And each person on the team, I'm a project manager by trade, and I also manage many businesses. Each person has unique qualities, skills that they bring, experiences to the team, and those are all important. So one of the ways that I'm looking at this committee is that we are like a round table, and we're going to have periodic round tables, probably quarterly. We'll see if we need to do them monthly, depends. I may try to catch different people at different times, but we use the word ambassador, and the ambassador is the focal point to an organization, to the people that will interact, so that we can see how we can reach our goals as an organization and how what we're doing fits into maybe what they're doing and find a niche. And then use that niche, right? Not only to create those relationships, but to look for people that are willing to sponsor SCORE through funding, as well as looking for subject matter experts, whether they become volunteers or they just volunteer to do a workshop for us, or maybe they are interested in becoming a mentor, right? So there's lots of opportunities because we're meeting a lot of different people. And there's some of the ambassadors like Kris in the room, and let's see, Virginia, Mark, but you're all ambassadors, right? Because the thing is that you bring the message of what we do to different people. And getting to this education stuff, one of the things with Greg is that we try to do a presentation that is that can be used to coach others. So we've invited folks that are going through training, right, for mentoring, to come and listen in, and maybe at some point do what Greg is doing for the day or part of it, or do what I do for a part of the day. Because we do it at 1 hour, so we have time to get folks in there and do it. So the whole thing is to find out where your talents are and how to bring them out. So if we all do that, especially for folks that are leading these committees, look at it as that you're a facilitator. You're facilitating skills and unique abilities and experiences, and help them and find your own as well. Because there is a place for you on the team. And know that it's a lot more fun when you're involved than when you're sitting back watching others. So get involved. Become an ambassador if you're interested. Talk to me. If there's an organization that you're already involved with, like the Rotary Club, let me know. I'd love to get us into the Rotary Club, and with a warm hello with each of the chapters as well as the chambers. So Raleigh is the ambassador for this organization, focal point, right? And there's other organizations we'll see in the future. So it's all about outreach, it's all about people, and it's all about you. I'm glad to be a part of it. Thanks.
Makes sense. Okay, how are we doing on lunch? You know,
They're on the way.
Okay, all right. Rolonda couldn't make it. She's got a pretty tight work schedule. Rolonda Hernandez has been involved with a number of activities, but she has volunteered to kind of spearhead our events committee, and Naji, I think, is going to be a great addition to that with his experience, and Mark as well, is volunteering to do that. But we certainly
didn't know until now, but it's okay.
Huh?
Actually, I didn't know until now.
Well, see,
There you go.
you didn't see that text.
I didn't see it coming.
When he said, I'd be glad to volunteer out of my immediate thing, let's put him on that committee. But I do think that, again, this is as a chapter, the ideas that we have, the relationships that we have in the community, are very important to be thinking about, both in terms of what events does SCORE want to host and stand out by themselves and maybe then attract sponsors and participate. But there's also opportunities that I hope that Rolonda and John will work together on there are a lot of community organizations that are out there that are doing events that would love to have us involved in, whether it's just a table with some information, or maybe a breakout session on certain things. So I think there are a lot of opportunities that we're not taking advantage of that I can see as being part of this committee that really is looking for events. And the work that we need to be doing in terms of planning, to Raleigh's point, if we get those things on the calendar, we know far ahead, and we can get people within the chapter maybe to sign up to sit, to be part of that, as well as any events that might require funding that we need to know about, so that we can start to think about what kind of fundraising we need and what that looks like. So that's a really critical committee, and would look for anybody else to try and help us with that effort. And then finally, again, this marketing committee, if we have somebody within the chapter that really thinks that they would like to work with us, and Dima's kind of, again, we're trying to get these committees going, but we don't want a committee of one. So if we can't get people involved, then everybody that says, oh, we need to be doing more social media, well, come on, join the committee. Because that's the only way it's going to get done is by people getting involved and help us do that. But I can see there's a lot of opportunities to be able to develop a little bit more robust promotion. I'm going to go back quickly just because I want to mention this. One of the things that Mike is doing, and we'll try and get this out quickly, is all the contact information available for all the committee heads. So if you're thinking, well, maybe I would get involved in this, we'll give you their email and their phone numbers and get that out so that you have that available. Okay. All right. So we are running a little bit out of time, but I think that why don't we just take a break?
We have
Hopefully
one more slide.
lunch is coming, and then maybe Tom, while we have lunch, you can do the presentation on the short stuff. Does that work?